I'm your new host, BDF Flotsam, and if my schedule is correct, which I think it is, this run coming up is Mighty Number 9. So, everyone's favorite Mega Man game that isn't actually a Mega Man game. I believe I'm right? If I am, you can kick it off from here.
Hey, it's not that bad a game. It's just a very interesting indie game at best. With that said, though, hello everybody. Hello friends and fellow gamers. My name is TempestMask1000, and I am a Mighty Number 9 runner, as well as an anime fan that did not cry on prom night. With that said, I am very happy to present this game that was Keiji Inafune's kickstarted spiritual successor to Mega Man, which unfortunately did not do so well, but it's still a nice game to go through fast. And my commentator, the world record holder for this category and any percent hard, can indeed agree. Joining me all the way from Finland, it's Ipe Hopue.
Hello, glad to join Tempest once again, hoping this to be a great run.
Absolutely, same here. The thing about me in speedrunning is that I do tend to be a little slippery or have a bit of bad luck, so that can always happen, and I'm not going to be surprised if today is any different. But with that said, before we get started, I do want to change up the dub. JP, do you want to stick with French, or do you want to jump back to English or Japanese?
I think English is probably, for the sake, probably everyone played with the English voices.
Yeah, might as well.
I think.
Alright, so the game is going to do a quick load right there, and we are good to go. And there we have it. Okay, so this game runs off of IGT time, meaning that for every results screen, that's going to be my level time, and that's going to be important. So if somebody within the Indiethon crew could keep track of that, that would be great. I know, JP, you sometimes take care of that yourself as well. But yeah, that would be great. Other than that, though, I am going to delete the file because we do need to start from scratch. So,
what is it that I'm supposed to be keeping track of?
So, do you have access to my feed through VLC?
I have access to your feed via Twitch.
Fair enough. Just look for the results screen, look at the level time, and if you could write those down, and then add them after the run, that'd be great.
Cool.
All right.
Also, Twitch chat, feel free to help out.
Absolutely. All right, let's get this thing started then. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mighty Number 9. All right, JP, kick me off.
Stage, not unlike a Mega Man X game. This is pretty much here to show the gameplay a bit and give us some story, but story is not that important really in these type of games. But the gameplay, you might be reminded of a Mega Man game, and that certainly is the case here. But this game has some of its own stuff up its sleeve. Here, you might think you'd be dashing through everything, but here we don't have the dash yet, so we're gonna have to do this awkward backwards jump shooting movements. Not for long though, don't worry, we'll soon get to some nice dashing. And yeah, quick things about this game's differences compared to a Mega Man is that now that we're gonna be getting to enemies, you can shoot the enemies to destroy them, but the game wants you to shoot them a couple of times until they bleed a different color depending on the enemy, and then dash into them and absorb them. Absorbing them gives you some bonuses, points, and praise. Like those previous enemies that did bleed red color, Tempest now has the red power-up, which gives a extra damage boost and also lessens the use of weapon ammo when you have weapons that use the weapon ammo. More of that a little bit later. There's also a yellow one that gives extra defense, and green one that gives some extra speed. And these ones that mostly bleed the blue color, you have to absorb few of them, but once you do have absorbed enough, you will get a E-Tank equivalent. If you know your Mega Man, E-Tank is a item that will restore Beck's health. In this game you can actually use it with the press of a button. You don't have to go into a menu and use it, so it's kinda handy here.
The only The only problem with that is if I were to activate it even at full health, it still activates, so unfortunately.
Yeah, and also here you can see that if you take damage while you're dashing, you will actually get a longer knockback. If you get hits while just running, you don't get that much of a knockback. So in some places, especially above pits, that's gonna be, well, iffy if you get hit during a dash. But now we're pretty much through the first stage, or the intro stage, and we get to a boss fight. Boss fights kind of use the same mechanic as regular enemies, but boss fights have their health bar kind of split into a few chunks. Once you deal enough damage to a certain chunk, you can dash and absorb that health bar away from the boss. If you dawdle too much and let time pass by without absorbing, the boss will start regenerating, which is obviously pretty bad. Here we didn't see it, so this was a pretty good fight. This is pretty simple. We don't have any extra weapons or anything, so it's just mash the face and hope for the best.
Alright. Also, sorry, that first time went by very quickly. I accidentally mashed through it right there. Sorry, Flotsam.
Yeah, I got it. 98.
Okay. Alright, so now we're moving into the mighty number stages, and yeah, we're gonna start with Bat because, as with a particular Mega Man-like game format, the bosses are weak to certain weapons. So starting with Bat will give us one of the most effective weapons of the game, which we'll talk about when we get there, but for now, I do want to mention a little quirk within the game that I like to call Mega Man 1 syndrome. So unfortunately, any instant kill objects will kill you even with iframes active. This is unfortunate because there is a very nifty trick that I'm actually going to show off in just a second. But yeah, actually I probably didn't... Okay, so, this is going to be a bit tricky because I do have the red power-up. I'm going to wait for that to drain out. There we go, okay. And I think that did it. Let's take a look. Voila!
Yep.
Now I can pass through enemies. JP, explain that one.
Invincibility glitch here. You saw the weird backwards jump shoot in the start of the run. You actually have these couple of nifty little moves that the game really doesn't tell you about. One of them is... I don't really remember the real name, but Beck turns around and does a little jump. During this turnaround and the jump motion, Beck will be invincible. So, if you're standing on a breakable object, start doing the jump, and the thing you're standing on breaks, or it just vanishes. Beck will actually never do the jump, and I think the invincibility is programmed to end once you reach the apex of the jump. And since Beck never does the jump, you will get to keep your invincibility until something touches those, like scripts, cutscenes, you doing the moves, or anything along those lines.
Yeah.
That's a really nifty move, but we don't get to keep it for that long even in this stage. As you can see, Tempest is already taking damage if he hits something. Because there was a screen transition to the gauntlet fight.
Okay,
but you can do it in multiple ways. Nice. You can use these. Oh my god.
Okay, so I can. It's fine. I can help you with that one. So I defined it upon two different methods: the box destruction jump and conveyor jump. Box destruction jump is where I set up a box to explode, and then I try to do the action before the box is completely gone, and the game detects that Beck is no longer on solid collision. The conveyor jump works a little similarly, where I do the action shift jump before the conveyor belt pushes me off. So anything that interrupts the animation can work as a good enough conduit for the iframe glitch. But yeah, any action that takes away iframes will remove the glitch, as JP mentioned, so yeah, stuff to keep in mind. But now we're in the bat fight, and let's get down to it.
Yeah, this fight is pretty simple. We don't have any weapons once again, so it's just mash lemons to Bat's face until he falls down. Bat has a couple of attacks. If he jumps like this, it's pretty good. He can also shoot rockets, and he can use his minigun. If he uses his minigun, we don't want to see that where he sticks to the ceiling, because it's harder to hit him. Other than that, you're just gonna mash. And bosses have these little desperation moves after they hit certain amount of HP. Bat's one is this huge insta-kill rocket, which will... you have to dodge it, and it will be stick on the on the wall until Bat detonates it, and even the detonation is insta-kill. So you're gonna have to be very careful about not getting close to that rocket.
He can also, yeah, so he could very well activate the explosion at any point in the fight, but luckily, him being all the way on the other side of the room means that I don't have to worry about taking damage like that. That was pretty nice.
That was really good. Okay, I'm gonna be quick.
Alright. Okay,
86.
Yeah, 335.86. So...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because the game, like I mentioned, runs on IGT as the main timing, RTA doesn't really matter all that much, but I am trying to keep the estimate in mind as well. So it's with both of those things that it is possible to technically take your time and even get your... I mean, hey, you could theoretically get yourself a drink break before you're ready to take on the next level, but of course I wouldn't want to necessarily bore the judges or the verifier of the run for too long, if you know what I mean.
You definitely don't want to bore the viewers of this marathon now, do you?
Okay, so that didn't quite do it. The iframe glitch in this next level here is a little bit harder to get. There is a bit of a backup, but I'll just have to see if I can do it. If not, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, those enemies, those little spider-like enemies are a bit annoying because, of course, they got hitboxes that can definitely get you whether you want to or not. But yeah, okay, doesn't look like I got it. I'm gonna have to play just a little bit safely here. Or not. Never mind. So yeah, those drills, they're instant kill. And we did not mention it yet, but one of the telltale signs that something can instant kill Beck is if it's got some sort of pink coloring to it. We don't know if the devs liked the notion of Danganronpa, if that game already existed by then. We don't know if it was something to do with color coding to help the player, and I totally forgot that that's going to kill you. But, hey, it's a thing. So, yeah, basically, we like to equate it to pink or magenta is bad. As just like a little adage.
Yeah, and actually these drill things, for some reason, are affected by invincibility glitch, so if you get it, you can pass through them.
Yeah, which normally makes this a lot more simpler to do, and obviously lets me go down much faster, but like... you know what? I will admit, not every day I get a run where I don't have that, but it is manageable. I just gotta watch my damage just a little bit.
Yeah. And this corridor is pretty scary. You got a pretty nice pattern. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. It's the get-on that is kind of weird, but I don't even know what causes that platform to decide when it goes in and out. I don't know if there's just like a global cycle behind it, or if it's just because I happen to die there, which probably did it. Normally, you're gonna see that thing a little, I guess, out of sync. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to come up with this on the fly, really. It's been a while since I've looked into logistics here.
Yeah. But still, we got to the boss fight now. Now we have Mick's weakness. It's the rocket, and we're gonna be shooting a lot of them. We hope we don't see this too much, where Mick jumps high and goes these boxes, because we can't hit that high, even with the rockets. So we hope he stays to the ground as much as possible. This attack can be annoying, you're most likely gonna get hits, but Tempest did really nicely there. Mick's desperation move is just making the battlefield smaller.
And it can crush you, yeah.
Yeah, it can crush you and it can crush Mick. That's a quick kill we don't consistently get or know how to get. Achievements.
I didn't know that was the other... What? Okay, that was... I gotta say it, that's never happened before.
That's wonderful.
I've gotten a lot of achievements in Mighty Number 9 before, even with my Xbox One version. By the way, I am playing on PC, but I didn't know that was the other fine play. Either that or I forgot. That animation, they actually threw in an extra animation where he realizes he doesn't have a block on his hand. That's I actually respect that. I very much respect that.
You learn something new every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, Brand is pretty much a, I don't know if you could say bootleg Zero, but he's a dual wielder, so he's cool automatically, right?
I mean,
this stage is... yeah, go.
No, I like dual wielding, that's all.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, Brand stage is about jumping on top of these cars, and since they're moving, if you hit the road, you're dead. It's instantaneous. They work like pits, so you don't want to fall into that. Also, this stage is pretty horrible with its checkpoints, so that is one more reason not to fall. And especially in a section, in a little while. But yeah. Other than that, this is pretty simple stage. You gotta know where the enemies are coming from, and you also gotta try not to clench too hard when the jumps go a little bit haywire.
A quick shout out, by the way, to any artists that backed the Kickstarter and got their art on the billboards. You might have noticed one familiar face, Ego Raptor from Game Grumps. It's funny, too, because this game was developed by Inti Creates, and Aaron would actually go on to be a voice actor in the English dub to a later game, Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2, which came out this year. So, funny how that kind of works 6 years later, because this game actually came out in 2016. God, it's old.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Oh no,
Yeah.
don't you dare say that!
Actually, we didn't discuss these gauntlet sections that much.
Yeah, we haven't. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, most of the stages have these, and they are always the same. Enemies will spawn from the same place, all the enemies will be the same, so it's pretty much just memorizing what to do and when. And also, now that we have the Battalion's rocket weapon, it's sometimes useful for us to just destroy the enemies instead of dashing into them. But that's only in a couple of places, so not that much. Also, now we're coming to one of the more wonderful parts of the stage. An autoscroller that takes like 2 to 3 minutes or something. And if you die during any part of it, you will be transported to the beginning of the autoscroller. Actually, you have a checkpoint before the boss, but that's after the autoscroller, so you definitely don't want to die here. But this is also a pretty good time for reading any donations or anything, so if there's anything like that going on. Unless Tempest wants to add something.
No, I think we can throw it to Flotsam.
Yeah. Sorry for a bit of a confusion on my end. I was expecting 40 minutes to set up, but because the last one was so fast, it was set to 0. We have a donation. Yeah, we do have a donation of. Have a $35 donation from Eric's33. Looking forward to some more sweet indie games, and put $1 towards killing Nailsmith, and putting $34 towards the bonus game option.
Alright. Out of curiosity, I might as well... Actually, no, we're coming to the end of the auto scroller section. We might as well save that question for later. Alright, so, Brandish Fight. There's a bit of a DM move skip that we don't necessarily know how to do consistently, but I'm going to try it anyway. His weakness, though, is Mick, and you're going to see it for the first time where I turn into a human bulldozer. It's a pretty neat weapon when you know that you can actually dash while having the bulldozer track active, but it also shreds this boss fight because it's literally enough to break his blades, which is also what makes it semi-manipulable in a way. But let's see if I can... No. Okay, not happening. Like I said, we don't know the consistent means of getting this trick. It is pretty rad, though, that it is possible to a degree.
And you can skip the desperation move with that. There are a couple of bosses where you can do that. Mick wants the first one, but this is the first one that you can get more consistently, even if it's not that consistent. But yeah, Brand's now down, so I'm gonna take the fractions here.
Yep, and our level time for this one will be 4 minutes, 86 milliseconds.
86. Yeah.
Alright, this is one of the more consistently longer stages of the game, but it's not the consistently longest for sure. That'll be in the late game, but just a little something to keep in mind. So it's always nice to see the highway go pretty nicely. Actually, I should wait for the hydration really fast, but yeah, we're going into the power plant, and I know this is one of JP's favorite levels, especially when you do it with the English dub.
That's why also joke.
Joke. Okay.
Joke.
The joke is Dr. Sanda right here. So, we should probably mention that the English casting, well, they got some pretty good voice actors to do the job, like Yuri Lowenthal is back, Dave Wittenberg, here's Dr. Sanda. They even got Dr. White for Jason Spisak, which, if you're not familiar with the guy, he's done roles for things like, I believe it was the Green Lantern animated series, Green Lantern animated series, and then he was also Geo Stellar in the Mega Man Star Force anime, as well as reprising that role in Star Force 3. So, technically, Spisak has had experience with the series in a way, but unfortunately, the voice direction, well, yeah, the voice direction was not as good, sadly, because, you know, you hate to see it when there's such a good cast, but they could have just done a little bit more and thought, how will the audience react to this?
We wouldn't have the ASMR sound that it wasn't for this, though, so I'm kind of grateful. In a weird way.
It's so weird, too, because if you're familiar with anime dubbing and Dave Wittenberg, he is known for Kakashi from the Naruto series, so see him play a role like this one in stark comparison to someone serious with a troubled past like Kakashi Sensei is kind of jarring, to say the least. But yeah, not much else to say now except for the oncoming section with the infamous turbines.
Moogly. Yeah, these turbines were at least one part of this stage with the turbine was pretty much a new player trap, and it's not even that subtle. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this stage also has this mechanic where the lights keep turning on and off, or the power rather, and some enemies are affected by that. A couple of those box enemies, they only shoot when the lights are on. So you can kind of see how good your timing was depending on like how you reach this enemy.
I still never really knew that until my more recent run at Big Bad Gameathon, so it was really interesting to see that that's actually something into the game and all that stuff.
Yeah. There's like many little details to this game. It's not fully a, I don't know how to say it, like labor of love, or like it has some love put into. There is some love put into this game still.
Yes, they definitely tried. There's just so much unfortunate miscommunication that if you were to look into the history of this game, you could probably see it for yourself. And there are plenty of YouTube channels too, such as Game Soup or Stop Skeletons from Fighting, or even Matt McMuscles' What Happened, that talked about what exactly went on during the development. And yeah, just it's really unfortunate, because I get the feeling if only this game managed to hit the nail just a bit more, we could have had a bit more of a future here. But as it is, I'm just happy that we have a decent speed game at best, and a meme at worst.
And that was Dinah.
Right, we did forget to explain her. 3 minutes, 1 second, 0.06 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
Dinah's pretty simple fight, and Brand's weapon is you can use the sword once you beat Brand. Dinah's weapon is you shoot these 3 pellets that can attach to enemies and things, and once they are attached, Peck's little horn will start spewing lightning to that attached thing, and it deals damage.
Initiating counter shade protocol.
Nice.
I wasted a little bit of in-game time just to put those on, but I was like, oh yeah, they're right behind me, I gotta do it.
Yeah. Each stage is a little bit of a different one. You ain't going in a straight line, you're actually chasing Shade around the White House, I think, yeah.
Capitol building,
and you're supposed to shoot him a couple of times. Oh, you're shooting him now.
Oh wait, what? Ah, dang it! I screwed up! Well, you know what? I was so focused on the counter shade protocol that I forgot about the stretch. Okay, let's see if we can even salvage this one. So, what I was supposed to do was have a certain sort of spawn going for him, where if done just right, we would be able to weaken him in 3 cycles. So, the manipulation would prevent us from having to go around a 4th time, but I guess that's just not happening. So I'm probably going to lose time over that. Maybe a miracle might happen, who knows? But yeah, the general casual player issue with the stage is that you die once and then you gotta do all of this hide and seek again, which, yeah, is never fun. Okay, so here's how I know I screwed up, because he's actually supposed to reappear in that room if I leave him be the first time around, but now he's probably in the area that I was supposed to go to anyway by this point. Not much else to say except shout out to the Kickstarter backers that got their portraits on the Capitol building wall. But yeah, hang on.
Once again, mentions are pink, whatever, yeah.
Alright, let's just make sure that the fire is going right. Actually... Okay, it's going right, but you know what? I'm gonna go this way anyway. I'm pretty sure, though, that what I want to do is go back to the center room at this point. And yet...
Yeah.
I don't really know the room layout all that much, but honestly, by going this way and going into the gauntlet here, I should be able to get me the full heal, so that's always nice to have.
Yeah. Definitely. And also pawns.
Yeah, Dinah is a bit of a jokester. One of 2 mighty numbers, and wouldn't you know it, both of the jokesters are the sisters of Beck in the group, so you know. Pardon me if I cough, by the way. I am still shaking off a bit of sickness, but I'm mostly better. It's just that my throat has an occasional tickle. Whoa! Okay, he's on the chandelier. Oh, one shot was able to do it!
Come on. Well, better this way.
You know what? I agree. But yeah, my life split is not going to be looking all that golden by the end of this run. Oh well.
Well, we'll see. In-game time is the one that matters still.
Oh yeah, no. I don't really know how to effectively put that in there.
Yeah. Shade's fight is pretty simple also, but this time around you really want to use Dinah's weapon. It's a weakness, and also Shade will turn invisible after a certain amount of damage, or if you absorb him. But if you put Dinah's pellets on him, you can see where he's going. And that's... Oh... Yeah.
It's fine.
He throws these balls and shoots a couple of bullets, and some of the bullets can be purple, and the purple bullets will actually mirror your controls, and that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's...
I don't need to say more, I think.
No, yeah. Say no more.
But this boss has also a skippable desperation move if you're fast with your Dinah. Oh, okay, that's a bad pattern.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could have done.
All of my runs have gotten the bad pattern. I've never really figured out the skip myself, but one of these days I'll eventually have it. So now he's going to go into some clone phases, where one is the real deal, the other is something you can't hit anyway, so I'm just going to not even bother about that. Yeah. Not much else to say, except... The Mighty Numbers can technically do their desperation moves again if I let them, so I gotta be very careful about that. Otherwise, bang, see you, Space Cowboy.
Nice.
And I say that line particularly because some of you may recognize the voice of Steve Bloom, aka Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. He is indeed the dub voice of Shade, and I once again skipped through that results time.
98, I got it. Okay. Once again 98 once you skipped it. I don't never skip, because once you skip it's 98.
Oh well, fair enough. I mean, I can look back. Once the run's over, but you know.
Yeah, that was a joke.
I know.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
Wow, now for one of the more vertical stages, are we? You're gonna be climbing this tower here, and yeah, there are gonna be a couple of new mechanics to this stage, but they're kinda at the end of the stage, so we'll discuss them more. For now, it's pretty simple, and knowing enemy placements and shooting rockets. Yeah, Avi is also kind of funny character here. He's kind of the Arnie Pie in the Sky reporter.
And I just love his dub voice actor.
Nice.
Yeah, his dub voice actor, Mick Wingert, is a really fun dude. You might have also heard him in some other roles, like Shu from 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Really good Atlas game. I was going to say his last name, but I think I would have... I think it's Shu Amiguchi, but I think Amiguchi could be another character. I don't know. But yeah. Shout out to Mick.
Yeah, mini-boss time. Kind of three-phase mini-boss. First, this big turret thing. And one thing to keep in mind is that you want to absorb these first two parts because you get the red power-up, and that will help you take down the final part a lot faster because it's actually one with a health bar.
Almost
And
destroyed those
these
turrets
three
again.
Yeah, it's once you destroy those three turrets, it's like one of those oh no moments. But yeah, now it's this final turret, and with the red power up in the beginning and lots of rocket spamming, it's a pretty quick one.
Speaking of spamming, I don't know if we mentioned that the red power up doesn't just give a potential power boost, but it also reduces my weapon consumption.
Yeah.
So aside from that, the yellow power-up gives you a defense boost, and the green power-up makes Beck's speed a little faster. Particularly his walking speed, for sure. I'm not particularly certain if it affects his dash speed, but because his acceleration dash is normally what I'm going for anyway, oh, come on. In any kind of fast movement, then it doesn't really matter much, but yeah, this just in!
You are going to hear that a lot. Hopefully not, but I don't know, I guess I just jinxed it.
Nah, you're
But
fine. Subtle spoiler to the upcoming fight.
Yeah, this part of the stage shows a little bit of the new mechanic, the wind. Wind will blow in certain direction, and that makes Beck's movements work a little bit differently. And soon we're gonna get this long vertical section where the wind is blowing from down to up, so you're gonna have to rise that current to the boss room here. You can use these kind of platforms and these hula helis, those things you can grab to rise a little bit faster or get a jump off, but you can also dash. And the dash will give you a little bit of a height.
Particularly the best height Beck can get, though, is if he's jumping off of solid ground with the updraft below him. So, and you can only imagine that if I had Avi's power, it would make it even better, but that's not quite in the books for this category. But now Avi's fight.
Yeah. Avi's fight, yeah, he goes off screen and does something.
Come on!
This is the worst thing. This just in. This is the worst move ever. You have hard time hitting him. And yeah, he will just troll you, and depending on how many of those you get, it kinda also just it will determine your time a bit. So hopefully that was the only this just in we are gonna get. One of the moves is that where he kinda brings the camera down, you can use the Shade's weapon's awesome capability of ricocheting shots of solid objects, and then target the enemy. Here to shoot the camera and whoop.
I tried to play it a little bit risky by shooting the bomb. Whoa! No, not again. Okay.
Oh,
I'm not gonna scare myself. I promise. Okay. I mean, that's why I got the health pack. But as you can tell, there's an entire bottomless pit outside of the main middle section. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna heal up anyway.
One shot.
Just missed entirely. Okay, well it's better that it's better than yeah. Hang on, there we go. Thanks, Avi. I was gonna say it's better than something else I wanted to say, but I don't know what. I don't. At this point, the fight's over, so let's not even worry. Hey, by the way, did you guys know that there's no boss refight thing in this game? I wouldn't believe it either, but yeah, no, this, for a Mega Man-like game, to exclude a late-game boss rush is definitely something you wouldn't expect, and yet something I can personally appreciate. But I do know that we did manage to get my incentive met, so I am technically going to have to do a boss rush of some kind a little after this run, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pyro stage. We have only two of the robots left.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, by the way, just speaking of donations, we have a quite cool anonymous donation. No comment, no anything, but $5 more is good. We also passed the $200 mark a little bit ago with the first donation I read out. So
Sweet.
Yeah, we're at $205.
Let's go. And only, and still quite a few more, quite a bit more days of speed runs to go. So definitely keep up the good work, y'all.
I feel normally obliged to mention that one of the donation incentives we have right now is a bid war that's probably at $1 versus $0.
I think you can easily snipe that.
Yeah, save or kill.
I was going to ask about other incentives too, actually. That was the question I said I would save for later, so anything else we got going on right now? Flotsam?
No, nothing.
Gotcha.
There's quite a few incentives. Bonus games or supermarket treat, only $72 from completion.
Okay. Let's see if we can meet that then. I like me some bonus games. Alright, so I was taking a bit of time to get the iframe glitch going in the first section. Second section was a lot easier though, and I'm a little more thankful for that because by dashing without holding any direction on oil, you can go much faster than dashing in while holding right or left. So yeah, you can also, the same effect also applies to ice, but yeah, oil can catch on fire, and that makes it a little dangerous, so, you know. It's not like Oil Man in Mega Man 6 where it instant kills you, thank God, but yeah, it's still a scary thing when that happens all the same. But yeah, Pyro's fight. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, obvious weapon, you can throw it like a boomerang and it will zigzag and come back to you. You can also call it back by trying to throw another one, but if you switch weapons after throwing your first boomerang, you can actually spam multiple of these at a time, and Pyro takes a lot of damage from them. It's pretty ridiculous how much damage he takes if you have like 3 on screen at a time. But yeah, that's a good Pyro fight.
2 minutes 24 seconds, 0.96.
96. Nice. One more mighty number left. Cryo, the Punster, the one with the ice and water stage combined. Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite tropes in one package.
Yeah, but it's a pretty short stage at least, so it isn't like 4 minutes.
But it is a little dangerous, and that'll especially apply at the end. Alright, so let's get started with things. By the way, a little fun fact that this game does have some retro BGM, so if for any reason you want to play this with some chiptune going on, well, go to the options menu in the main title screen and you can set that on no problem.
Yep.
I know quite a few runners have run with this retro BGM going on, and I definitely respect that, but I'm a lot more... Oh, come on! I never died like that before.
That's dangerous.
Very interesting. As I was going to say, though, I'm a little more biased toward the original composition itself. And that was actually done by Minami Matsume, the composer of Mega Man 1, who they were able to get onto this and stuff. But you also might have heard her do some other tunes, such as Plague Knight's theme, as well as gets composing something else in Shovel Knight. So, yeah, shout out to her. She's pretty cool, not gonna lie. But other than that, though, not much else to currently talk about with this water section. I know I can downward dash there, but I just try to take it carefully anyway because, well, in case you didn't notice, the spikes were pink, so they can instantly kill me, and whoops, I didn't mean to downward dash there, but you know what, fine. I guess we're getting the extra health for safety, even though my health is full.
That is actually also a route some people take. I haven't tested which one is faster to let you fall down slowly or take that extra down.
That is a pretty good question indeed.
One day.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a bit concerning though because sometimes it has been known for runners to get a bit of a soft lock in this mini-boss. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious, but it looks like that one went down just fine. As you can see, we basically got the equivalent of Pong going on. Not much else to say, except there will be another time where I fight this mini-boss, and in that case, Cryo will be shooting some ice at us to try and freeze us, and that's not fun. So...
Thanks, Cryo!
Thanks! Yeah, I don't usually say that, but hey, good point. Thanks, Cryo! Alright, here we go.
Another one. And you definitely want the red power-ups here. They will shred these things pretty quickly.
The soft lock in particular is that I don't remember the logistics behind it, but if you're not too careful, the boss will suddenly become unabsorbable or undamageable, and... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's bad!
Oh, no.
Heck.
This part of the stage is definitely one of the more dangerous, and it can take you a couple of times to get it down in nice and smooth, but it's always still gonna be one of those...
scary
things that put you on the edge.
There's a good reason, though, that in the any % run, we set our max lives to 9, because in normal difficulty, you can do that in the options menu. I'm just gonna go Bat's Weapon. I gotta bust down those blocks. But the problem, too, is that because the results timer is, as far as we can tell, the most accurate source of in-game time, anytime that the timer gets reset, we can't really tell what our previous attempt's time was, so that a game over or retiring from a stage will invalidate your run. So that is one of the catch-22s of Mighty No. 9 speedrunning. Not the worst thing, though, but Cryo, yeah, I do not like it when she misbehaves.
Yeah, Cryo's fight is... She has a short health bar, but she is one of the more annoying fights of the 8s. She will rise the water current high up to the ceiling, and then freeze the current, trying to freeze you, and then fall down. And after 2 absorbs, you get to the final block, when she tries to do her desperation move by trying to freeze you. But this is one of the more easier ones to avoid.
At least if you know when exactly she's about to turn, because when she gets to the wall, the turn immediately can freeze you if you're in the wrong end of the ice hose.
Yeah.
Also,
Pyro's weapon is pretty useless. This is probably one of the only parts where you use it. It's a combustion or explosion around back. You can charge it, and the red power-up actually makes the charge go a little bit faster. And that's one of the strats used for quick cryo kill, or the one I do.
Aside from that, though, we've now entered one of the Kickstarter-backed levels, and the one that is, as I mentioned before, or alluded to before, the consistently longest stage of the run, the prison.
Did you want Metal Gear in your Mega Man game? No. Well, you got it now. Well, kinda. But yeah, Cole is not like Beck in many cases. She has this gun that can use... You can shoot 1 bullet at a time. If there's a bullet on screen, you can shoot another. You can't also absorb enemies at all, so you're gonna have to shoot them down if you want to. Most of these enemies pretty much cannot be shot down. So
yeah, not even
gonna have to be collecting these security. Yeah, you're gonna have to be collecting these security cards to open the doors and just avoid everything. In kind of sense, the stage isn't that bad. The boss battle is, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there, surely. But of course, because this is Mighty number 9, you're gonna have a gauntlet section with a character that cannot kill her enemies effectively.
Yeah.
So these bombs... Yeah. These bombs cannot be destroyed by shooting, they're gonna explode on their own though, so this is just a waiting game. But the next one's these little turret robots you can shoot, but it takes plenty of bullets. Here, and another bomb. So it's gonna be a wonderful little waiting game. Yeah. And also, what we didn't discuss yet is that Cole actually has a shield from her backpack, and that will be handy a little bit later, but it can block bullets. And these enemies are... yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll take a safety death. There we go. So, yeah, as JP was about to mention, Call's barrier can block reflect projectiles, but only the most basic kind. If you've seen those little sprinkle-looking ones, you know exactly what that's like. So, yeah, those particular projectiles, the barrier can bounce off. Even then, the barrier has a limited amount of energy that these patch robots can recover. But, of course, the patch robots... that requires you to get into a little animation that wastes time, so that's why I'm avoiding them. They're just flat out unnecessary.
And one of the more scary corridors in the game, yeah. Lots of pink, lots of shooties, and some precision required. But that's awesome, that was a really good one. Nice going there.
I could have went full YOLO, but the missile tank usually has a way of getting to me that's caused me to die at least once in that section, so I didn't want to risk it. Now, as you noticed, the little hover ability that Call has is pretty nifty when you're, like, rapid-firing targets that you know you can reach with it. That's what I did with the Big Eye enemy, too, because the Big Eye enemy is meant to be defeated after, like, 5 or 6 hits, and then the Big Blade that comes back at it will effectively kill it. So, yeah, that's one of the Call Stage killable enemies, but Call Stage enemies, yeah, not even Beck can bust them down. So the bombs, he can't, his buster wouldn't be able to break the sentries, neither of the sentries, yeah, it's probably pure game design, but even then, you would think that by many certain aspects of the level that we got from the final product, maybe the Kickstarter stretch goal could have been better off not getting met, or Call just getting co-op exclusive gameplay, or even just a campaign of her own, because I actually have the DLC for Rey, which is one of the categories you can do for a speedrun, and, I mean, she got her own campaign, so why not Call? That would have been nice. Oh well. I guess
Let's just make the boss different.
Yeah, just make the boss different. Really, that would have been the one thing we could have all gotten along on. So K9 here, there's a lot of RNG involved, except for the first 4 drops that his bark calls or howl calls down. This good old guard derp here will have the eye that I can shoot out, and when the eye is present, well, yeah. The excuse me. The eye I can shoot, but the damage it does is not as plentiful as when he eats a bomb. So, the thing about that is, you are guaranteed 2 sentries and 2 bombs in no particular order. After that, though, it's pretty much as RNG as things can go. You can kill K9 in 3 bombs, so that is nice, but to manipulate it where the sentry... If you get a sentry and you want to, like, get rid of it, then you are potentially wasting more time. Because, I mean, again, I'm saying it a lot now, but hey, RNG is RNG.
Yep. And the 3 bomb kill doesn't save nearly as much time to be worth it to risk it for the biscuit, especially if you're on a good pace.
It is possible, by the way, for K9 to crush the enemy, or even just flat out miss the bite, which, you know, that's never fun. And because then, even if the enemy is still on the field, it will go back to its blind pattern before it calls something down. So you're going to waste time if that was completely unintentional for sure. Also, yeah, boy! I was a little late on that one, but I had to. I don't know why Dr. Sonda thinks he did anything useful in the fight. Sorry, Sonda, you were kind of a spectator there. We love you, though.
I'm gonna get the... Yeah. Probably first time I've gotten all the time so far. All the fractions, I mean.
That's fair.
So...
Yeah, I'm usually very fast fingers when it comes to going through the results screen. But yeah, now for the next of the late game stages, the Robot Factory. And fun fact, you can actually do this in any order you so desire. Meaning if you want to do this first before the prison, absolutely. I just go with whatever my gut feels like going with. Or follow my splits, that too, I guess.
This stage is a rather funny one, because this lets you utilize almost all of the mighty number weapons. And I do mean almost. Like here, you can use all these weapons' properties of giving you higher jumps and slower descents. And later on we're gonna be using even more. The mini-boss fight, Mom, this is kinda... I don't know, tricky. You have the wall that has the eye that is the kind of the boss. You have to shoot it. And once you shoot it, you can absorb it, nice. But if you take too long, it will hide inside the wall, and then you have to get rid of all the ads before you can damage it again.
Well, there we go.
So, nice.
But yeah, that was a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, I will say this. I did see someone asking if I ever will do the Vermilion Destroyer DLC. Yes, I'm willing to make that a bonus incentive for future runs, or I also plan on doing the any % raid category, which does require you to play that by principle. And yes, I really do mean that, because in order to have that IGT time, that means we gotta play as Beck for 2 stages despite it being the raid category. Ha! But yeah, no, this game is a treat, I tell you. Anyway. So
have you met this guy?
Yeah, he looks so got washed up.
Oh no!
I was going to make a joke about how he got a bit of a paint job, but yeah, no. As you can tell, he's a lot bulkier, so he's not as simple to take down as before. But that's okay, because Brand's weapon does allow things to be a little bit more tolerable that way.
Yeah. Brand's weapon has this wonderful thing where it can block projectiles too, and that's one of the places where it becomes useful, as the boulders which will drop down from the ceiling. Oh! And yeah, now I think you got hit during a dash, so there's no way you could have saved that.
Yes, shame.
Yeah. But at least the checkpoint's not that far away.
And that was a very risky what the heck did I just do moment.
Yeah. Now it's kind of time for the refight part, but you're not fighting with... or against the bosses, you're fighting with them, or most of them at least.
Yeah, so...
And this is pretty much a auto-scroller here. You're just gonna collect these little thick enemies for the extra health.
Thing about that is,
thing.
if you take too long, Brandish will wipe them all out for you. But other than that, Shade and Cryo are actively trying to hit the enemies, so they are helping you, and that's a really nice detail too.
That's a little difference.
Other than that, I'd say this is a pretty good time for any announcements or donations if we have any, so Flotsam, I'll pass it on to you.
Yep. We have a $25 donation from the wonderful volunteer Sprinkle Theory, who's been helping out in the back end, saying more indie games, more marathon, for the bonus game incentive.
Nice. Alright. Well,
that's it.
Yeah, no problem. Good timing, too, because we're now on the boss. Alright.
Yep. This boss fight starts with this tractor thing, I know, whatever, worker robot thing that you have to use Jaina's weapon to get rid of quickly. Once you do that, you get this flashback to the mini-boss, and it is this eye coming from the wall. This time, though, if you don't manage to destroy it before...
Oh, so close!
Oh no! Yeah, if you don't manage to destroy this before it gets back inside, you're gonna get this robot back, and because the mummy robot is at so low of a health, this robot will do this annoying move where you have to pretty much just watch these fireworks go off and wait 20-40 minutes. So it feels like.
Anybody familiar with a certain boss from Mega Man 11, I always like to refer to this as Mighty Number 9's variant of Impact Jail. So, there's no escape!
Yep. But now, it's at low health, so it should be pretty simple to finish off.
Alright, we're good to go to the final stage, and, this is not bad so far, but...
That was almost one cycle, too.
Yeah,
that was
like...
pretty close.
So, 4 minutes, 36 seconds, .09. I gotta say, I'm very curious as to if this run is even gonna PB, because it could, but I don't necessarily count on it to.
Yeah.
Alright.
Don't count your atoms yet, Sanda.
Before they're smashed.
Indeed.
Alright, well, I'm gonna soda up, or at least open this Pepsi for when it's really go time. But, yeah, we got one final gauntlet room that kicks off the Battle Coliseum right here. The plot basically goes where the Mighty Numbers and robots in this 52-state America future happen to all have the common thread of this one proto-robot of modern robot technology called Trinity. She is basically a prototype of what Beck is able to do, in that robots are built with this cybernetic-like muscle tissue compound called Zell, which is what I've been absorbing this whole time with my acceleration dash. And when I transform, it's re-Zellection, so, you know, this game likes to be a bit on the nose with its Zell. Other than that, though, Trinity has apparently been the cause of the malfunctioning across the country, and so now it's up to us to put an end to her problems and help her get back to normal just as we did our siblings. But that's the weird thing, too, about this game. Technically, there's no villain, there's no Dr. Wily, even though I would still consider Graham to be the closest thing possible.
Yep.
If you want to see the story for yourself, I would recommend maybe renting Mighty Number 9. Otherwise, if you actually do want to buy it, no problem there, because it's usually going pretty cheap these days.
Yeah. Getting back to the stage, this has the gimmick of these, well, not disappearing boxes necessarily, but these things around things that if you shoot them, they will form this box that you can stand on. If you walk or try to jump on the ball thing, you will get hurt. They will stay as a box until you shoot it enough times, then it will disappear until you have enough distance to it, then it will be reborn as one of these balls again. And this room here is kind of a puzzle thingy, but because we're speedrunners, we already know the solution. Like that. Simple. But you can also use these things to do the invincibility. I don't know if you're gonna go for it here, but
I could try it, because I might as well. Just to conserve as much health as possible for the final fight.
Yeah, that's definitely... yeah.
Alright, hang on. These robots are not giving me much chance here. Nope, that was a miss. I'm gonna try that again.
Yep. Yeah, as you can see, once
Tempest
went far away enough, it just spawned back as a ball.
Not quite.
These are pretty much almost immediately destroyed.
Got it.
So, yeah, nice. So the timing is very strict.
Normally this would be a good time for announcements, but we are at the end of the elevator, so we're good to just keep this run going, and then some.
And all these little win thing is back with vengeance. A very short section, but a very dangerous one as well.
One nifty little trick that you can... oh wow, that was close. One little nifty trick that you can do is, if you keep dashing, you can actually go under the Protozell blocks and you will not, technically not fall into the pit, but only try it if you're feeling up to it, because I know it can be a bit of an easy thing to just mess up. I mean, I've certainly proven that quite a few times this run. So yeah, here we go, Trinity. This is phase 1, the dubbed easy devil form. Easy for everyone except me, apparently.
Yeah, once she shrinks, she can take damage. After she shoots enough of those blobs, she will shrink, and once she gets enough back, she will stop taking damage because she's enlarged again. You can one cycle this, but it's pretty difficult, so yeah.
At least you're
Overall, this fight...
unfamiliar with the logistics like me, because apparently I can just never get it right. Almost, but I gotta be a little careful here.
This fight is pretty hard, casually thinking at least.
Okay, whew.
And even run-based if you don't have that much health. At least Tempest has the E-tank here to help.
I was going to try and save it for this phase, but yeah, we're on the final phase of Trinity, where we get to see this pretty little flower in action, and time won't be when I defeat the boss, but rather once I make contact with her orb after she breaks apart. So we'll tell you when that is exactly, but yeah.
After double of these run and flower things, she will pop from the center and you will want to mash as brand. Why? Because it deals fast damage and also it protects you from the purple goo it spews.
Yeah, you technically have like slight invincibility as long as you get the mash going good. Now, yeah, I wasn't gonna get the quick kill. I have done it before, at least once. Technically once only, now that I think about it. Oh well. But we should be nearly done, which is good, because honestly, I have had instances with just about every other run where I have died to Trinity. So hey, I get to break that pattern for a little while. I'm more than content with that. Alright.
And after that move, we're back to the flower phase, and now it should be pretty simple to finish.
Alright, so time is not quite yet, but it is once I make contact with the orb. Do be warned that you can still take damage from her, potentially, but... And... time!
GG.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna get to calculations here
right,
once I see the...
final results screen to go. Alright, just gotta wait a little bit.
Yep.
And, yeah. Alright.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you. 5 minutes, 33 seconds, 09. That's a little bit longer than I'm thinking, but, yeah, whatever. It's not the worst thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and go through the credits as fast as we can, because we do have an incentive boss rush to do. But... yeah, that was Mighty Number 9's main experience, and, well, whoa, excuse me, there's the soda already kicking in. As I was going to say, the nice thing about beating the game for the first time is that because you're usually playing on normal, unless you get the DLC where you can do Maniac mode early, you know what I mean. Once you beat the game for the first time, though, you get access to all of the other difficulties, and the interesting thing about that between those in normal mode is you have access to all your powers from the get-go. You can't change your lives, though, so do keep that in mind, but, yeah. So, it's some pretty nice stuff. This game has a fairly decent amount of variety going for it. Alright, let's take a look at the final time. I'm looking at 45 minutes, 51 seconds. That...
So if I calculated correctly, it's 45:58.39.
So I'm pretty certain that's not a PB.
Yeah.
But hey...
43:18 is your current.
It's still... Yeah, it's still very close to it, so I'll gladly accept that for sure. And hey, I didn't... It's legit. It wasn't down to the wire. I think this was a pretty nice experience overall. Alright, boss rush time. So, okay. Here's how this is going to work. The boss rush has it where you tackle all the game's bosses with only a single life, but you do have access to 2 heals. Normally, you can collect 2 heals, but the patched robots that give you items have to give you the specific item that gets you the second tank. So, in this case, I will have access to both of them, but my main objective per this incentive is to just tackle the mighty numbers, because the AI is actually going to emulate that of the harder difficulties. So, yeah, there's going to be a few changes that you might see in these upcoming battles. Other than that, though, my estimate for this particular portion will be 10 minutes maximum. So, if everything goes according to plan, then yeah, good stuff. If not, then I should have at least room for 2 attempts, assuming that I get as far as Shade. I'm going to leave most of the commentary to JP, of course, so that I can take as much care as I need to with this. But other than that, if we can just reset the timer for the Indiethon timer really fast, that would be great. And, yeah. Once we are ready, I will count us off. But, yeah. Are we ready to rock and roll? Flotsam?
I think we are. Sorry, I was just.
Yeah, no problem. Things. Just making sure the timer is ready.
Yeah. It's ready.
Okay, good. Here we go. I will officially start the count once the game says go. I normally start it when I press start, but in this case, we won't do that. I just want to try it a little differently, so... Alright, starting the thing up. Going to take a quick sip.
Nice.
3, 2, 1, go!
Intro boss. This time we have all the weapons, so one of the quicker ways to take this down is with Cryo or Avi. And here Tempest is going for the cryo shot. As you can see, it goes down very fast. But considering all the damage you take pretty much piles up from now, you don't get healed between the bosses. Only way to heal is to use one of your healing items. So every damage is, well, gonna cost you some. But now we're gonna be going in the order that the mighty numbers are mighty numbered. So mighty number 1. Pyro is next, and we're going to be using the same strat as we did in the any percent run itself with Pyro Juggle, using Avi's boomerangs here. But yeah, Pyro's pretty dangerous. The damage piles up quickly, and now that he's in the blue flame form, if he hugs you, you die instantly. So you want to stay as far away as possible, or as close as possible, dealing maximum damage.
We did forget to mention that during the main run, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Blue fire, hug, bad, no good. Instant kill. You can't do anything about that.
And now it's time for Cryo. And once again, the any percent run strats are one way to go. And I probably think Tempest is gonna go for it here. I usually go for a longer charge before I get to this room. Here, that ain't possible, because you cannot charge your pyro before entering this room. So you're gonna have to make do with what you got. Here there was just, I didn't mention it, that if you break all the pillar that the cryo makes, she will sometimes stumble and fall on her backs. Sideways, she drops down.
Yeah.
That's cryo, that's nice. And time for number 3.
I think...
Gynatron!
Now that I think about it... Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that has a couple of patterns moving, and you want those where she sticks as close to you as possible. This one's decent. She can stick to the ceiling, which is the worst, and she can also do this going in a square form all over the room, or kind of following the room's layout, and that's the best one. This is the worst. Well, yeah. Also, Brand Weapon has this wonderful feature where if you charge it and jump and press down and let go of the charge, you will do this huge downward slash, which will definitely hurt Dyna and destroy her desperation move immediately. Yeah, going to Mick, and once again we are using the any percent strats. You actually have both the heals still. That's nice.
I'm gonna use one now though, because I was looking a little on the low side.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a little unnecessary damage. Come on, Beck.
Yeah.
Come on, Beck. Why? Oh well.
Yeah.
Not much I can do about that.
Fight. Yeah. Next fight is one that actually is gonna be a little bit different compared to the run, since we never get to use Cryo's weapon on bats, but now we can, because we actually have the weapon during the fight. Instead of mashing lemons, we're just gonna freeze him. After a couple of shots, Bat, I think he freezes for a bit, and that's gonna be a good time to do some more damage. The Cryo's weapon actually, also if you hit it, it will do a what's that, overtime damage. Slowly, but it was kind of like a poison in most games, so it's a really useful thing for a couple of stuff. But yeah, you can't skip the or desperation move here.
Yeah, and he's invincible during it.
Yeah. Most bosses are during, but either you hurt them enough before they get invincible, or you disrupt their invincibility.
I can't keep a good Hey, oh man. I like the voice lines. I even remember Bat saying "Go go go" when he does the jump in the French dub. That was cool. Alright, Obby time.
Obby's fight. We are running low on health and we have no more health refills, so this is gonna be a scary fight. But once again, the 80% strats are the way to go.
Yeah, not much variation.
Hoping to see patterns that where Tempest can avoid taking damage.
Okay.
Because if you die, it's all the way back to intro boss. There are no checkpoints, I think. This is one and done. Yeah, you have 0 lives.
Oh man!
Nice dodge. Oh, you gotta have at least one Teach. Oh, okay, double Teach Justin. Now
what?
He's playing with pop. Wow. I have no words. I don't think I've ever gotten triple Teach Justin in a row. I've only gotten 2.
The game is obviously laughing at me by now, and I'm also at low health. I don't think I'm gonna make it as far as Shade. Shame.
Pretty close, pretty close. Brand's fight is definitely gonna be a wowzy with this much health.
Jeez. Float some curiosity. For curiosity's sake, how far into the... Never mind. How far was the timer in by the time I died?
I'm just watching the stream right now, and it's got a bit of delay in comparison to the commentary time, so... About 5 minutes? 5-6 minutes?
You know what? Let's go for one more attempt and then we're gonna call it there, alright? So, let's try that, because I think I can get that back as fast as I could. If not, though, if not, then I can just call it quits here, but yeah. Here we go again.
Once again. Yeah, this is a tricky one, and also we're now doing only the 9 bosses, because the intro one is also a boss. But you have I think you have the core boss too, and you also have the factory boss and Trinity.
Yeah.
And considering how hard Trinity is, yeah, this challenge isn't to be toyed with.
Yeah. No, not fun at all.
Yeah. Sometimes the fastest strats are just gonna get you killed, so you might have to play cautiously in a couple of parts.
Oh god.
Ooh.
I was a little bit, I guess I was a little mind going a mile a minute behavior that my brain kind of turned off for a second there, I don't know.
Well, happens. Once you want to go fast, you gotta go fast.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of gotta go fast, you gotta say, I am most certainly looking forward to Sonic Frontiers. But if you guys want to enjoy Gotta Go Fast in lieu of the Indiethon theme, might I point you all to Spark the Electric Jester, which the third game recently came out, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So yeah, back to Cryo. You know what? Quick fun fact about the voice actor to Pyro, because in the English dub it's Matthew Mercer, which y'all may recall for stuff like Captain Yamato from Naruto, Cole Cassidy from Overwatch, or even the DM in Critical Role. But yeah, in the Japanese dub, the voice actor of Pyro is actually that of Flame Ironard from X7, which I can only assume they did entirely on purpose. And you know what? I kind of appreciate that.
Burn to the ground!
Burn to the ground!
Best Mega Man X game.
I will say, it's so funny of a fact that the English dub voice actor for the that's known for that Burn to the Ground line, Peter Von Gom, is actually also the voice of X. So, oh, the irony. Of course, the reason that meme is a meme is because of the audio editing, and that's not really Von Gom's fault per se, but or audio mixing rather. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, back to Mick.
But he's gonna. Okay. And you will still have both of them. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
No,
Yeah.
I had to use it now. There's no questioning it. The thing is, you can do the iframe glitch with those boxes. It is a little slower to get the execution in there, though, so that's why I usually don't. But it would be a nice thing to show off, maybe one other time. The funny thing about the pillar calling is that I can guarantee a bomb on the butt, so there you go. Well, I mean, because he's invincible anyway, so if I just shoot his backside when he's turned around, then once I activate the bomb, you know. That's a nasty case of explosive diarrhea.
3, 2, 1.
My humor is childish, I swear. So yeah. Oh, that's right. They all home the first missile. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know, the homing missile attack is, I like it. It's also kind of got this weird property to it as well. Like, I just keep forgetting that when the first missile... Oh, dang it, tracks me there. I got distracted. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, well, we're just going to call it there. That's,
No pun intended.
Yeah, we're going to call... I see what you did there. Alright, well, hey, at least I got to show off the bosses in the main game, so honestly, the fact that I didn't get to quite do the incentive as intended isn't the worst thing around, and actually goes quite well with an any % run, now that I think about it. Normally, I reserve this sort of thing for when I am doing a Challenges Solo Trials 1 to 23 run, which is a self-made category, nothing official yet, but it's how I got started with speedrunning this game, so... Yeah. Anyhow, that's going to do it for us. We would like to plug the Mighty Number 9 speedrunning community, and if you'd like to join us and the Discord, you can find the link on the MightyNumber9Speedrun.com leaderboard page. Of course, you can also find, well, at some point or another, JP and I are intending to get a tutorial, a first of its kind, for speedrunning this game, and so we hope that anybody interested in giving the run a go will greatly benefit from it. It's not all that difficult of a game to learn, but we do like the idea of trying to guide people if they feel a little lost anyway, so yeah, hopefully soon we'll eventually have that figured out. Other than that, though, I just want to give a shout out to all the runners that set the stage for me before I finally gave myself the chance to just integrate myself as a runner of the main game, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been inspired to give this a try. JP, thank you very much for joining me, and where can everybody find you?
With the same name on Twitch and Discord. And that's pretty much it. But hey, thank you for having me. This is always fun time.
Absolutely.
Every time Mighty Number 9 gets a gets a show. I'm happy to be here discussing this.
Hey, thank you for taking your time, too. I know it's a little late by you, later than me, for sure.
3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
Saturday.
At least it's Saturday. For you, anyway. All right, well, as for me, if you guys want to follow me, I am TempestMask1000 on Twitch, YouTube, and I got a Twitter at It'sTempestSteve. My stream schedule, isn't all that static, so I do try to post updates there whenever. Other than that, though, that's going to do it for us. Indiethon, thank you so much. I'm glad I got to finally get a part of the action. And I do want to give a quick shout out to our good friend, the DM Panda, who, as you all know, is currently taking a break from the event. And it is unfortunate because I was hoping to have him see my run. But honestly, Panda, I just want you to know that I love you so much. You're a wonderful person, and we wish you lots of love and all the best, in that hopefully we will be able to chat again someday. So until then, take it easy, and Indiethon, keep the great work going. Until next time, this is Tempest signing off. Ciao, amici.